Okay, let's talk about AI, artificial intelligence. It's kind of everywhere, right? And it's coming for our schools in a big way. We're hearing these incredible promises, a golden age of learning, a total game changer for students. But then you also hear these whispers of something darker, a super controlled, automated future. So, which is it? Revolution or ruin? And that really is the heart of the whole debate, isn't it? You've got these two totally opposite visions. In one corner, you have a learning utopia, a future where every student gets a personal guide to help them become their best self. But in the other corner, a surveillance dystopia, a world of constant monitoring where algorithms are in control. I mean, how crazy is that? Two completely different futures, and they're both powered by the exact same tech. So yeah, the stakes are incredibly high. Are we talking about real personalized support for kids, or are they just going to be managed by rigid algorithms? Are we going to empower our teachers to be the amazing mentors they are, or turn them into glorified technicians? And is this whole thing about creating lifelong learners, or is it really about lifelong surveillance? It's a lot to think about. Let's start with the good stuff, though. Let's look at that utopian dream. All right, so let's dive into that utopian dream. Just for a second, imagine a world where AI is used to unlock things we've only ever dreamed of in education. A future where technology isn't the boss, but is actually there to serve students and teachers in like the most amazing ways possible. Okay, get this. What if we could just get rid of high-stakes exams? Forever. I mean, seriously, think about it. No more cramming, no more anxiety-filled test days. Instead of one single test that's just a tiny snapshot of what a student might know on a particular Tuesday, AI could be working quietly in the background all the time. It would be building this super rich, detailed, and way more accurate picture of what a student actually understands. That's a game changer. And we can take that idea even further. What if you had a personal AI companion for life? I'm talking it starts with you in kindergarten and it's still with you when you're 80. It's your tutor, your career coach, your personal mentor, guiding you through school, your job, pretty much everything, from your first day of school right through retirement. And the teachers, what happens to them? Well, in this perfect world, AI doesn't replace them. Not at all. It becomes their ultimate assistant, a superpowered sidekick that handles all the boring stuff. You know, the greeting, the scheduling, all that administrative grunt work. And that frees teachers up to do the stuff that really matters, the stuff only a human can do, inspiring kids, mentoring them, and making those real personal connections. So how would this AI companion actually work? Well, it's pretty concrete. First, it gets to know you. It figures out your actual life goals. Then it maps out a learning path just for you. It gives you feedback, instruction, whatever you need, right when you need it. And, this is cool, it records all your achievements in a secure, smart resume. And because it could use tech like blockchain, that resume would be totally tamper-proof, a completely trustworthy record of your skills that's way more powerful than just a piece of paper. It's an incredible vision, right? But, yeah, every dream has a shadow side. Because for all that amazing promise, when this tech is rolled out the wrong way, that beautiful dream can turn into a nightmare fast. So now, let's flip the coin and see what happens when that utopian vision crashes head-on with reality. And look, this isn't some far-off sci-fi story. This quote, it's from real students. In the US, they were protesting an AI learning platform that was actually developed with help from Facebook engineers. They felt so strongly that it was hurting their education that they literally walked out of their classrooms in protest. Wow. So what exactly went wrong? Well, the students said the so-called personalized learning was really just them staring at a computer for hours, clicking through boring assignments. It completely cut out human interaction. No discussions, no debates, the stuff that actually makes you think. They said they felt like they were learning little to nothing. It was actually making their education worse. And what about the teachers in that situation? Well, one of the developers actually said something pretty chilling. He suggested that with his fancy AI, teachers would become like fast food chefs, just following a super strict KFC-like script. Think about that. It takes this incredibly complex human profession and boils it down to just managing the software. And the danger gets way more serious when you realize how flawed the technology itself can be. Just look at this number. 95%. That was the false positive rate for a facial recognition system the police tested in the UK. 95% wrong. Now, imagine putting a system that bad in a classroom to monitor if kids are paying attention. The potential for mistakes, for unfair punishments, it's just staggering. And this really gets to the heart of that dystopian fear, because this isn't just a what-if scenario, it is happening right now. All over the world, schools are putting in AI cameras to track every movement, to monitor attention, even to analyze the student's emotional state. Critics are calling this level of data collection borderline mental health assessments, and it's being done without any real consent. It's constant surveillance, dressed up as education. So you can see how all of this leads us to the real core of the problem, right? Underneath both the utopian dream and the dystopian nightmare is this huge ethical minefield, and it's filled with massive questions that, honestly, we're only just starting to even ask. One of the biggest worries is something called algorithmic bias. Here's the deal. If the data we use to train an AI is full of our own human biases, and it is, the AI doesn't just learn those biases, it amplifies them. It makes them worse. You could end up with systems that automatically penalize students based on their race or their gender or where they live. We'd be literally coding inequality right into our schools. And bias? That's just the tip of the iceberg. We also have to figure out huge questions about data privacy. And what about transparency? I mean, how do these AIs even work? If a student gets a bad grade from an algorithm, don't they deserve to know why? And who's accountable when it messes up? Plus, there's the very real danger that these systems just take away a student's own power, their own agency to make choices about what and how they learn. You know, what's really scary is just how unprepared we are for all this. The experts who wrote the material for this explainer put it perfectly. They said we are rolling out this incredibly powerful technology into our schools in what's basically a moral vacuum. Think about that. No rules, no guidelines, no regulations. It's like we're building the plane while it's already in the air, and our kids are the passengers. But here's the thing. The future isn't set in stone. None of this has to happen. Utopia, dystopia, neither one is inevitable. The future is going to be shaped by the choices we all make, right here, right now. It's up to us, all of us, to decide how this story ends. So really, we're standing at a fork in the road. Path number one is what you could call critical engagement. That's where everybody, students, parents, teachers, you name it, gets involved. We talk, we debate, and we create clear ethical rules together. The other path, that's just acquiescence. We just sit back and let the tech companies call all the shots. We let AI unfold without any oversight, and we just hope for the best, which probably means making inequality even worse. So it all comes down to this. The technology itself isn't good or bad, it's just a tool, right? The real question isn't what will AI do to our schools, it's what will we do with AI in our schools. So the question I want to leave you with is a personal one. What kind of learning future are we going to choose to build?